the signs of the state really rolling out relief to people. You know, zinc, people need zinc, they need building materials, they need food and water, so they can start to put their lives back together.
So the way in which the government plans to go about the relief effort is we are going to do it in mind that there could be other events coming in the season. So it can't be totally short term. We also have to think medium term in how we deliver relief. So there are some things that we're going to do, particularly as it relates to the reconstruction of roofs. Right? So it's not going to be good enough to just tack on back some zincs.
Bless up my people, welcome back to the channel. So in this video my people, you'll hear feedback from both the opposition leader and the Prime Minister after their touring assessment in both the Alligator Pond area for the opposition leader, and the Prime Minister went to Rocky Point. And some people want to take in the feedback of what is really going on currently on the ground in some of these hard hit area via the Hurricane Category 4 Beryl that passed over Jamaica some few days ago. And you'll find some of these videos on the channel, but just for them to give their feedback on where they have visited already.
So we are in Alligator Pond today, section of the community called Compound. We've visited the Top Bay section before, Top Hill, and the devastation up there is very bad. And around here, they've had 2 houses completely destroyed, including Nicolette's here, and also an ackee tree fell on a house. Generally, a lot of damage. Fishermen have lost their investments in their fish pots, and there's no electricity, so they can't actually continue fishing now anyway, because there's nowhere to store the fish when they catch them and keep them chilled. So this is an area which is going to need a lot of attention, where it's that time when Jamaica needs to pull together. And we 4 days after Beryl, today is what, Sunday. We want to see the signs of the state really rolling out relief to people. Zinc, people need zinc, they need building materials, they need food and water, so they can start to put their lives back together. JBS bedding, thank you, and JPS, are on it, but they need to reach these areas as soon as possible, because these are the areas which are most badly affected. And we're going over to St. Elizabeth next, where I believe the situation is just as bad or maybe worse. So, we're just getting a sense of what the situation is like on the ground with the people, what their needs are, so we can advocate on their behalf. Not looking to politicize this in any way, but where we see the gaps, we want to call them out and bring them to the attention of the government so they can respond quickly to them. And right now, people are hurting in many parts of Jamaica, and the assessment needs to move in transition rapidly into relief, so that people are feel that the country cares about them, and that their lives are not just gloom and doom right now. So that is my cry. Generally speaking, I think the whole structure of how we respond to disasters needs to be revamped. ODPEM used to be more independent, more responsive. Now it's been subsumed in this Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, this massive ministry, and it's definitely not as agile as it once was in dealing with the situations on the ground. And I think that needs to be looked at afresh. And of course, we need to prepare for hurricanes in a more meaningful way going forward. Not, an announcement the day before of some drain cleaning or an allocation to MPs, which may take time to access. But no, we need to have, relief supplies in areas which are prone to being damaged, and equipment and so on in those areas deployed, ready to be rolled out. So a whole different approach, I think, needs to be taken. And we have lessons to be learned from Beryl, for sure.
Yeah, man. Beds
And furniture mash up and spoil.
where you been treated so far in the shelter, you know? The
Very,
provisions.
very good, very good.
It's a rough situation, I know. And for you to have this high spirit, it's very reassuring. I know it can be depressing, especially for the kids, but once you maintain a good spirit, we're going to move as quickly as possible to try and assist. All right.
Nice.
Big one. Take care of mommy, all right? Take care of her.
Yes. The Prime Minister.
I'm going to try and move as quickly as possible. So we are in the Rocky Point Community Center, which is converted into a shelter. And I had the pleasure of meeting the team that is helping to run this center. I must commend them for their effectiveness in managing in difficult circumstances. I had an opportunity to speak with those persons who have taken refuge in the shelter. And by and large, having regard to the situation, their mood is one of optimism and understanding. And generally, I would say that they appear to be satisfied with the resources that have been provided. The general complaint for this community, for Rocky Point and adjoining communities, I'm sure, is the damage to residential infrastructure, roofing in particular. And we are noticing that there are areas of flooding. My presence here today, therefore, is to get a first-hand assessment of the challenge of the people of the southern end of Clarendon. So far, what I have seen, the downpours, which has affected electricity supply almost across the entire parish. Then telecommunications. Where we are now, no telephone works, whether it is either of the two telecom providers. In terms of water, we are making provisions. The roofs, what are we going to do about the roofs? Some people have a few sheets of zinc and their roofing structures. Others have damage where their entire roof is gone, and others would have lost their entire house. Persons who are in need of only sheeting, zinc sheeting or other forms of roof coverage, we should be able to mobilize much more quickly than for those who would need entire roof structures or entire homes. In all of this, I am very heartened to see that though persons have been displaced, have been dislocated, and yes, persons are angry, there is a general level of understanding. That is very important to mental health of the people in the area. That can only be enhanced and further supported if people feel that they have a responsive government and that people are paying attention to their needs. So as much as possible, I am going to be out in the field, just trying to keep that mood of hope and optimism. We're going to work as hard as we can. We're going to mobilize as much resources as we can. We say to the people, maintain this level of optimism, positive outlook. We will get through this together as a family. And I want to give you the assurance that we are working as hard and as quickly as possible to deliver the benefits to you. Early in the hurricane season, it is quite likely that we will be impacted by other weather events. So the way in which the government plans to go about the relief effort is we are going to do it in mind that there could be other events coming in the season. So it can't be totally short term. We also have to think medium term in how we deliver relief. So there are some things that we're going to do, particularly as it relates to the reconstruction of roofs. Right? So it's not going to be good enough to just tack on back some zincs onto the roofing. We're going to have to figure out ways to ensure that those roofs that we do, that they are properly done.
And like the opposition leader said, many persons currently are hurting. Their livelihood get affected drastically. And as for what the Prime Minister said, the people, the ones who are of greater priority will practically get the help first. So let us see when they will at least wrap up majority of these assessments in the hard hit areas and start to basically give out some resources as it pertains to packages to help persons to, fix back their roofs. For the ones who have lost their houses completely, I'm not sure what the Prime Minister or what the government of the day will do as it regards to that, but I guess they'll keep them in the centers that they have as shelters for a time being until they can give them at least maybe a structure or some resources to build up back what they have lost. Some people, as I said before, and I keep stressing it, Jamaica will need a whole lot of help. And that 4.5 billion that they have in those first and second tier will just go as fast as possible. And with the health sector reportedly need over $1 billion out of that. I mean, I know my people have seen some persons saying that the government did not even prepare, the last minute cleanup when, all the monies that they had allocated, the 1.4 billion to do the cleanup project was from last year, November. So it seems as if the money never did issue out until the day before or 2 days before the whole hurricane hit. So my people, remember, it's just the beginning of the season and many more hurricanes can hit Jamaica, right? Whether we prepare or not. So if we always try as much as possible when they hear the alerts them, when they get themselves in order. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Tell me what you think in the comment section, my people. Returning subscribers, big up on yourself. New subscribers, welcome on board. New viewers, like up the videos, share out the videos. Support the ABR movement by playing your part. Join the membership of the channel, my people. Only a small fee per month to become a member of the Isabel Rose movement. Member shout out goes to Angela and Ivan Wallace. Big up on yourself, my sis. Thanks for the continued support on the channel. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for more updates. Big up on yourself.